So, now it's been 5 years, you said?
Yep.
Since diagnosis?
Yep.
Since the first episode?
Mm-hmm. I just want to explain a little bit deeper what MS is.
Yeah.
So it is lesions in the brain and the spine. In my case, it's only the brain, right? And it attacks what's called the myelin sheath, which is this thing around the nerves. The damage is in the brain and it affects the central nervous system. Mm-hmm. If you can picture the central nervous system like on a Google image, you'll see that it's everywhere, right? The nerves are everywhere. So that's why some people have, like, issues with their eyes.
Yeah.
I don't, but others do. Legs only, arms only, all of it. Just depends where. But the damage is in the brain. Like, it starts from the brain. It's the signal.
Yeah.
The signal from here doesn't work properly.
Yes. Yeah, because the myelin is the fatty part around the nerve, and what that does is actually conducts the electricity.
Exactly.
Which sends the message to say, move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's interfered with.
Or sensation.
Yeah.
Nadine.
Yes.
Welcome to the flip side.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me in your place.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome.
No, thank you for being here. Thank you for coming.
No, very, very much looking forward to this one, as I've said before.
Me too.
Yes. And so, just to get started, introduce yourself.
Oh, gosh. I'm not good at these, but yeah, my name is Nadine. I'm 37 years old, and I love dancing. Just keep it at that.
Yeah.
Unless you want to know more, but we'll just keep it at that for now.
We'll dig in. But that's perfect. So, just as a bit of a background of how we got here and how we know each other, is my best friend, Christelle, I grew up with. She is your sister.
Yes.
Yes. And so I spent a lot of time at your guys' house when I was little. And I think your love for dancing definitely rubbed off on Christelle.
Yes.
And then on me.
Yes, I remember teaching you guys some moves.
And
you still pull them out today, and I love that.
Yeah. They're timeless.
I love that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
And as well, culturally, you guys are from Mauritius background. And so then I also got integrated into that.
Yes, you did.
And often wore the cultural dress.
Yes.
The Saga dress.
And you were just part of the group.
And thank you.
Always. You always have been, but like with family as well.
It's pretty special.
Yeah.
So that's basically my memory of you is mostly dancing.
Good, I'm glad.
Which is really cool.
I'm so glad.
Okay, so what we're going to be talking about today is I've done a podcast just last week with a lady that was a competitive tumbling athlete, and she talked a lot about identity in sport and that being very fractured coming out of sport.
Yep.
And then leading into kind of how she saw herself after that and how she had to redesign who she was.
Yep.
And I feel like this is the perfect follow-up to that conversation. And sometimes recalibrating your identity is your choice and sometimes it's not.
Yep.
Often it's not. But I think your story is a really good example of how you've just tackled that head on and figured out who am I now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, that's it. That's all right. So, if you want to kick off with what your journey has been so far, I think that would be a really good place. Just what's your story?
Yep.
Give me a rundown, and then I'll ask you some questions.
Yeah, for sure. Actually, I think I'm going to bring up something that we haven't spoken about before, which was things that happened before the diagnosis. So I was suffering from really, really bad migraines. To the point where I had a couple of migraine attacks and I was hospitalized. Like, you've got migraines, which are absolutely horrible. Then you've got migraine attacks, which is just hell in a nutshell. And so I went to see, like, my first specialist ever. This was when I was, like, I don't even know when this was. I'd say 7 years ago. Let's say when I was 30.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. And then I had, an MRI because of the migraines. And I remember the first thing that the specialist said, one of the first things was like, there's no cure for migraines. And I don't remember the rest of the conversation because I just had flashbacks of the migraine attack, which was horrible. Like, I couldn't... I don't know if you know what migraines involve, but basically, like, it got to the point where I was paralyzed in pain and I couldn't talk properly. Like, what was coming out was gibberish. It was like a war was going on in my head. And I was just like, what the hell? There's no cure. Like, that's so weird. Anyway, and then I get a call. They called me up and they said, oh, like, the specialist wants to see you again. And I knew that was weird because I wasn't meant to see him. Like, it was just kind of like, here are your meds and there you go.
Yeah.
And then someone had contacted the specialist because they found out something through my MRI, which was there were lesions in my brain. And I was like, okay. And then so we spoke about my options, and I'm very happy to say that the specialist was like, you know, you're not showing any symptoms. My official diagnosis was something called, I've forgotten, but basically what it means in like my terms is you've got these lesions but you're not showing any symptoms, so we don't really know what it is. Yeah, radiologically isolated syndrome. Anyway, that's it.
Which radiologically isolated syndrome means we can see something on a scan and we don't know why.
There you go. Exactly. So that was that, and then he spoke about, you know, doing things differently and taking the holistic approach, and I was like, all right, this is weird, but okay. So I just carried on with my life, and then it was probably a year after that. Yeah, probably a year after that was when things very quickly escalated in the wrong way. And this is where the story really starts. So I remember this was during the lockdown, and I remember my legs feeling really, really weird. And it felt like I went for a 4 to 5 hour hike and I needed to stretch them out. You know, like when you get home and you need to stretch out. So I was like, and then that was having no relief. So couple of days later, this isn't improving, and then I end up in hospital because I'm not walking properly whatsoever. I've got these weird sensations, I've got these pains, and I'm just hobbling. I'm literally hobbling. And that time it was really hard to kind of get support with everyone in their suburbs, not being allowed to go to... It was just a terrible time, and it was terrible.
COVID,
so... Then I ended up staying in the hospital for 10 days, and then I got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So that was the brain lesion part of it. So I had the brain lesions, I knew about the brain lesions, but as I said, there were no symptoms. I was just living life as normal. And then this happened like overnight. And so that happened, it's now been 5 years. I had to think about that. 5 years. It's been 5 years. So since then, I've had an overnight diagnosis, and I've been trying to manage and adapt to my new life since then. Yeah, okay.
So can you tell me a little bit from there about who you were in the season of your life before MS? What was your identity at that time?
So very... Pocket Rocket. So I've gotten that nickname from other people, mainly strangers. I don't know, just like mainly strangers. That's where it comes. People just like, you're like a Pocket Rocket. I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll take it. So Pocket Rocket, very outgoing, very active, loved rollerblading, loved going on long walks. I was always the active one in my group. And even my family, I'd say, with the different stuff that I would like who rollerblades. I loved it, but absolutely loved it. Actually, I just remember like with my family, like we'd go on 16, 20K bike rides for them, and I'd be following them at speed on rollerblades and absolutely loved it. That's like wild. Every weekend we would go, I'd pick a different place and then we'd go and just do 20Ks, you know. So that's how I was. I was always on the go, like just go. Very outgoing, not shy, very talkative. That hasn't changed, but like just very out there and just doing everything. Not really a homebody, not staying at home, relaxing, doing lots of things and doing new and exciting things and exploring.
And then coming into then having the diagnosis, do you think the diagnosis itself changed your identity immediately, or do you feel like that was kind of a slow transformation?
It didn't immediately, but at the same time, I very quickly got a rude awakening that things are very, very different. So what I mean by that is, I remember like after I got out of hospital, I was practicing walking again. You know, I had to start to learn how to do things again with my body, because it mainly affected my legs at that time. And I just remember probably about 6 weeks out of hospital, being able to like dance a little bit again in the living room, not going out because no one was going out. But yeah. And then like jumping on my motorcycle again. That was like amazing. It was ecstatic. My dad was filming me. It was like really cute. Like it was an exciting moment, you know. He sent it to the family, and you know, just seemed like things were going to be okay. Because I got I should mention, like, I got diagnosed with something called relapsing remitting MS. You've got relapsing remitting, and then you've got the progressive one.
Yeah.
So mine was a relapsing remitting because I recovered and I learned to walk again. But yeah, after that, I remember I had moved places, which is a big strain on the body, and then I went straight back down to how I was when I was in hospital. So it was like, that's when I realized, okay, just because I kind of got back on my feet in every way possible, it doesn't mean that it's going to be forever. Like, I need to tone it down. That's what I have to do all the time. But I felt like I needed to like tone it down. Otherwise, I don't want to end up back at that square one.
Yeah.
And so that was when, probably about the two months after that, when I went back downhill again, and I was at home a lot, in bed a lot from just fatigue. That was when I kind of realized, okay, no, this is massive, and you can't, because I've got this fighting spirit. Like, I've just got this thing where I want to get to a certain level or stage, and, you know, I was really excited when I jumped on my motorbike again, but then it was kind of this realization of like, no, you can't do that again, because you're possibly it's going to be a detriment to yourself. I feel like initially there was a lot of me being naive. Yeah. And then when I went downhill again, hopeful, yeah. When I say downhill, I mean flare up. I had a massive flare up. Yeah. That's when the realization really hit me. Like, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, describing it as stuck, like, what does that mean to you?
Well, definitely in a physical sense. Mm-hmm. So that was when I was using a walking stick, and I couldn't stand up for very long. So I remember, because I had just moved, I had some girlfriends come over and they were helping me out and things like that. And there was one point where I was so tired. I remember I just had to walk from like here to behind that chair. And I wasn't sure if I was going to even make it, because like the balance isn't there. There's no balance. There's weakness in the legs, and also it's nerve damage. Yeah. And so I'm stuck in a sense where I can't go anywhere or do anything. And then also mentally that played on me, because I had just moved as well, and I'm always the person that's, you know, in my sneakers and running around and trying to do everything that I can, because I'm just so active and very proactive. But just like now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, I've got to ask my friends, like, oh, you know, can you please, you know, get on that ladder and go and, you know, put that box up there or unpack this box or whatever. Whereas in 2 months before that, I could have easily done that myself. Yeah. So very like stuck mentally and physically. Yeah.
I think a little interesting side note to go on here is like, did you feel like ego was a big part of like having to drop some ego about asking for help? How did you go about the asking for help? Like you said, you were so like independent in so many ways.
That's a word that I should have used before, but extremely independent. I would say extremely independent.
It's like something that you really believed about yourself. It's like
I just was. I've just always been like that.
Yeah.
I've always been like that. Always. My grandma tells me about stuff when I was like little, and that was very hard for me. That was so hard. Like, even though, like, I've got a physical disability, and I'm struggling to like walk 2 meters without potentially falling, I still found it hard. It's more so because of that, the sadness of, I used to be able to do that. Like,
like always grieving the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's not like the support that I have wouldn't do that, wouldn't jump in, but there was just like this sadness of like, well, it was not long ago when I could have, like, it's new to me. It's new to me.
Yeah.
It's like asking for help in general was something that I wasn't good at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just in general, in everyday life. And then now it's like, it's on another level. It's on another level. I still remember, like, I'm thinking of that day where my girlfriends were helping me move, and I was like thinking about, I was like, how do I, because I was really, really bad that particular day, and I was just like, I wasn't sure how to get in bed and how to like put my PJs on. And like, these were things that I was thinking out loud. I was like, I don't know what to do. And I said, I need help, come and help me. And me just kind of, like, I ended up figuring it out, but it's still, once that kind of overnight disability happened, everything changed. Like, anything that I did from then on had to change. It completely changed, and it had to change as well. So, yeah, to answer your question, yes. Yes, but I don't think it comes from a pride thing.
It wasn't a pride thing.
It wasn't a pride thing.
It was more like a grief, like a loss.
A grief, a loss, and an inexperience, because I didn't really know how to ask for help in the first place.
Yeah, it wasn't a thing that you did before. And now it had to be like something that you did often.
Yeah, and not on a level, like an everyday level, like help me with, I don't know, I don't have an example right now.
Whatever.
It was on a...
whatever people ask for help.
Yeah. It was on a next level. Like, I've now got a disability, and I'm not able to stand up and do, like, there's a lot that I can't do now very quickly. Yeah, it was asking help, but on another level, like carer level. Yeah,
Yes.
basically, yeah.
That would have been, really big shift. Really
Massive. Yeah, massive.
So at the time when you were diagnosed, what do you think was most misunderstood at that time? What do you think that is the thing that you would want to have explained if you could have explained, or you would want to have said, or want people to know?
I think from my point of view, I think understanding that I was in shock. So when I first had the issue, and I was like, I can't really stretch this out, whatever. But then the next day, this was before going to hospital, obviously. Then the next day, like, I'm noticing, am I struggling, like, to stand up here? Like, what's going on? When that happened, I know now. I know in hindsight. I went into complete shock. So I think even when I was telling the family, and I was saying, hey, Dad, can you come and get me? We got to go to the GP. I was in so much shock that I didn't think of how bad it was, that I should have gone straight to the hospital. So when I went to the GP and she, like, saw me, she straight away, she said, you need to go to hospital. But I was in so much shock that I didn't really, like, think of that. And I also don't think I communicated, like, well. I think I just was just like, my legs hurt. But with the family, I didn't really communicate, like, no, I'm struggling to stand up, and if I were to get something off the floor because something fell, I left it there. I've got a fear that, and I pretty much know that I will not be able to get back up.
Yeah, so you knew that in that moment, you could feel that it's like, this is not right.
It was crazy. Like, I had so many, like, realizations that happened. Like, I could see the future before even I went. It was weird. Before I went to hospital, like, I could see that I would have to have a certain amount of, like, rehab and specialists. Like, it's like I knew what was coming, but at the same time, I was in complete shock. I was in complete shock. So I think even I would have, in mind communication, I would have been a bit more articulate into, hey, this is actually really urgent. Like, this is proper. Something is very wrong here. That, and then probably also, like, I mean, I went to hospital at a time when COVID was going crazy. This lady that took me in, like, yelled at a couple of guys, my dad included, because they were waiting there. There were 4 people in the emergency room, just 4 people, but she was acting as if, like massive hysteria. I suppose that those interactions should have been different. So she's yelling at my dad, who literally we were linking arms because I can't walk by myself.
Yeah.
So he just dropped me off. And she's also yelled at another guy whose mum was in a wheelchair and he was holding her bag. So it's not like they were there for 30 minutes just waiting around and not being their distance or whatever. They had literally just walked in to drop off the people that they needed to drop off.
To go to emergency.
Yeah, so I just think, I don't know, that could have definitely been different, because it's like, look at who you're dealing with, like, in front of you as well.
Yeah. And
you know what I mean? You're just this is
people are human.
Yeah, like, and you're in an emergency department. Yeah. There's a serious issue in front of you.
Yeah. That's
happening right now, live. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to think of the hospital itself, and that kind of scenario in the 10 days there.
Yeah.
It was horrible, though. I hated that. Was one of the worst periods of my life. Those 10 days. But if there's anything I have to say about what could be different, it would basically be if the COVID crap wasn't there, because that's what made it really, really hard.
Yeah.
I couldn't have my family visit me, and I'm going through this thing where my legs aren't working. I'm in emergency. They're saying point your toe, and they're like, and I'm trying to point my toe, and they're like, oh yeah, we asked you to point your toe. I'm like, I'm trying, and it's not moving. Like it's not moving. Like, you know, so I'm freaking out.
Yeah, of course.
Freaking out. Yeah.
Did you have any, like, spiraling stuff? Any thoughts where you're like, I'm not going to be able to move this again? Like,
I didn't. I was, like, really, really, like, in so much shock that I didn't have much space to think about anything other than don't fall.
Yeah.
When I go to the bathroom, when I had to, like, shower, it was just like, don't fall. What's going to happen? Tell me what's going on. Wait for the diagnosis, basically. And then I had rehab. When they gave me the diagnosis, the specialist was expecting me to be there for a long time. She's like, you get your rehab, you know, and you get your own room, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when I had a rehab physio guy. I did some exercises and we did, like, one first step, and that was huge, like, to go up a step.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh my God, I had, like, a bit of relief, like a little bit of relief, because I could do something.
Yeah.
And I got discharged, I know, quicker than they expected, because when the physio the next day, when I'm walking, like, I'm not really walking, but, like, I'm hobbling around.
Yeah.
What it's called is spasticity. I didn't know at the time, of course, but it's called spasticity. So you're, like, my legs were locked in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, hobbling, and the shock, I could see the shock through his mask. He was so shocked that I was moving that way, and I got dismissed quicker. And he was like, and even, like, when my next session, he's like, you're doing so good. And I was like, I said to him, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. And that was my aim. I need to get out of this hospital.
Yeah.
So I was just doing anything I could to get out, and then secondly, obviously, to get better.
Yeah. And 10 days, you're out.
In 10 days, yeah.
10 days.
10 days.
And they expected you to be there for longer? Did they ever tell you how long?
No.
Okay.
Not really, but I think she might have mentioned maybe a couple of weeks or something, but yeah.
Okay.
I suppose some people don't. I think some people don't recover from what I had, which is called an MS attack.
Yeah.
Some people don't recover from that. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And then you were, that would have been a massive moment then, getting, like, up that step.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh my God, it was the best, because there's so much fear.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much fear involved in that, because you've got no balance, your muscles are weak, your nerves aren't working, and so the risk of falling is extremely high. I'm in the stroke, like I'm in the stroke unit, like that's where I was, you know. So, yeah, the fear was just, it was really up there, but I had someone with me and he helped me out. And then after I got that first step, we tried a few steps and then it just built my confidence up. That step was just everything. Yeah.
Yeah, you remember
it was
that one
everything.
Really clearly?
Yeah, definitely. It's a moment that's very hard to describe, but that was like one of the moments where I was like, okay, maybe I'm not going to be like this forever. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. Even though I wasn't like, going back to what we were saying before, it's not like I was necessarily worried about it, but it's a thought that did come up when I had that progression in my movement. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's a good moment.
Oh, mate. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Incredible.
I want to go a little bit more on identity.
Yep.
So, what do you think the biggest like part of your identity that you had to grieve was, that you feel like you've left behind and that's no longer a part of you?
Definitely the dancing. That's like 100%. And just my activeness and proactiveness. Yeah. But I mean, because I was choreographing for the cultural group, and performing as well.
Yeah.
And that was like my little side hustle besides my work.
It was amazing. We can link some videos in the description.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, your choreography was awesome.
Thank you.
So awesome.
You.
Krista always says how, should we say this? No other groups will watch it. It's better than all the other groups.
Maybe they will. No comment. You said it. That were your words, not mine. Thank you. No, definitely. But not only cultural dancing. I used to do a lot of other dancing. I was taking classes, just casual classes and having fun, and going out, and mainly like going out to dance. With girls and things like that. So that was. Because dancing was a big part of my identity, that was a very big hole, that was punctured, basically, in terms of my identity. And not only that, just in general, the activeness, I was such an active person. Yeah. Such an active person. I was going to the gym, I was actually, now that I remember, things are, I'm remembering things, because I have blocked some things out over the years to help me cope. But going to the gym, and I started getting into running at one point, and going on the park runs every Sunday. If I'm not doing that, like I said, rollerblading, I was
20 kilometers.
Yeah, 20 kilometers, yeah. It was so much fun. Keeping up with bike riders. It was the best. So much fun. I was doing ice hockey for a little bit,
Ice hockey?
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go, yeah. I'm just always doing something active. Always. And it would take up most of my time and most of my life.
Yeah.
And now that I can't do any of that, it's just... It was horrible. I felt definitely for a while that I lost my identity because of those reasons. Everything that I used to do, I can't do that anymore. I spent a good, I'll say about 3 years being at home. Just being at home, not working, not being able to do anything, missing a lot of events. I know I still do that now, but that was even worse. I became a homebody,
Yeah, which you said before, that's just not how you would ever describe yourself.
Yeah, no way. And so I feel definitely a massive, massive loss of identity. Yeah.
Still now?
Now, I think, no. Now, nah.
So you said it punctured a hole, the dancing, especially in the active.
Yes, yeah.
Do you think you've found something that has started to patch that, or you've found something that fills that, or you think there's nothing quite like it?
Not yet. I don't think I found something that replaces it. You know how you hear stories of people that go through these things and then they find something? I haven't found it yet. Yeah, okay. But in saying that, I've come a long way to 5 years ago. where I can have a taste of it, and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not enough. I lied. That was a lie. It's not. Yeah, it's not enough, but it's something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something because I've come so far along in getting better that I'm very grateful. I couldn't do those. I've got a limit. I've got a certain limit with dancing, but at least I can do that where before I couldn't at all.
Yeah, yeah. There was no leeway for anything.
Yeah.
And
but
now
there's leeway now. Yeah.
So how do you manage that?
So that has to do a lot with fatigue and lethargy and managing the lethargy and fatigue. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Jokes. Sorry. No, because, like, you got to stop apologizing.
You do.
and the thing is, like I explained to you before, I didn't have the right amount of hours that I need with having MS. I need to have, like, 10 hours, basically.
Sleep,
yeah. And so that's why, like, it's gotten to the point of the day where I'm just stumbling a bit because things aren't adding up, you know? You know what I mean? Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so I will get little tastes of it and I will have to prepare myself.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've gone to a couple of times is Latin by the Bay.
Yeah.
And there's a restriction. So one dance, that's it. One salsa dance, that's it. That's so much cardio. The more cardio I do, the more movement I do, the more I will suffer the next day. And I'll get into that in a bit. But I have to plan and make sure that I'm still in bed very early. I get there early. I have one dance and that's it. I'm not allowed another dance. I've got to come home early, rest. And Saturday, I have to have nothing on so I can recover. Basically, I've got to have a recovery day. Actually, I have a recovery day every Saturday now. But I would be more comfortable going to have one dance knowing that the Saturday and Sunday are free for if anything happens. But not so much if anything happens. I don't really have that fear anymore. But it's more so the recovery time. I've got more time to recover for that 3 minutes where I exerted my body, my physicality. And so what I was going to explain to you before is that everything has to be planned meticulously. So I'm talking about management now in general, right? Mm-hmm. So I've spoken about the spasticity in the legs, the pain. There's also my arms that came up about 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, that happened 2 years ago. I don't even know if I told you, but
no. Is that
probably not
to the legs? Is it like a similar type
It's similar.
Of
so this will lock in.
Yeah.
And the pain is it's nerve pain. It feels it aches. It's such an odd feeling. It's an achy feeling, and my fingers sometimes do these weird things. I can stretch them out. But I didn't tell you then because I was freaking out that day. But that's when it happened because I woke up and it felt like I had weights as arms. It was horrible. Yeah. Anyway.
So that was that, yeah.
Well, that's why you make it, yeah. That was 2 years ago, I think.
Less, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit
okay.
less.
Fair enough.
Close, though. Like
maybe a year and a half.
Maybe?
Yeah, well, there you go. So that's something that's new.
Started.
Wasn't affected before, and the arms got affected.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Yeah, management. I have to manage my time meticulously, right? So in terms of lethargy and fatigue and energy, right? So you know how I was thinking about this the other day. You know how in Jumanji they've got those bars?
Oh, yeah.
For lives? Yeah.
For lives, yeah.
So, like, just imagine, like, with MS, you've got bars of energy, right? Every day, from here to here. And so I have to plan everything to make sure that I don't get a flare-up and I don't feel like crap.
Yeah, you can't use all of them.
I can't. So the thing is, like, let's just say your one bar equates to getting up in the morning, brushing your teeth, doing your hair, having a shower, and eating breakfast. That's one bar.
Yeah.
The average person. Someone with MS, one bar is getting up and brushing your teeth. The next bar is, like, washing your face and having a shower. The third bar is making breakfast. Travel will cost you 2 bars. Putting the clothes on the line, that will cost you 2 bars. Reading in bed, half a bar. Going to take the trash out, whatever, that'll cost you 1 bar. Going to dance, do 1 dance, that'll cost you 4 bars. But you've only got this amount of bars. So every day I have to calculate how my day's going to go. And I calculate the next day how my day's going to go.
Yeah, because if you don't, like, say overnight, I'm understanding it, if I'm understanding it correctly.
Yeah.
If overnight you haven't slept well, or you've exerted yourself a lot the day before,
yes,
then it's potential that you won't fully recharge.
Exactly.
The next day, right?
I will start with four bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we've got literally getting out of bed, brushing your teeth, having a shower, having breakfast,
and that's my day. It's also mental fatigue. So if I use up all the bars, that's the point where you feel like I feel like absolute crap. So what happens is it's a hangover because you wake up feeling like crap based on the energy that you used the day before. And so it also feels like this lethargy when that runs out. It feels like if you can imagine being awake for 3 days straight.
Yeah.
Imagine how that would feel on your body and your mind. That's what it feels like to have an MS hangover. So I have to make sure that I don't want to feel like that, which also can trigger a flare-up, which means, walking stick again, walking around, dizziness, off balance.
Yeah.
So I have to make sure that I respect the bars of energy and use them correctly.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to go dancing 1 dance, let's just say I wasn't working on Friday, right? I would know that I'm dancing that night. So most of my time would be spent in bed, only to get up to go to the bathroom and cook my meals or heat up my meals, and that's it. Because I'm saving the bars for that dance. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's basically...
That's a really good, very good analogy for how it works and how people can compare it to their experience.
Yeah. So I do that especially because I know that there's a chance for me to having progressive MS, which means once you get a flare-up, there's no going back. Yeah, there's no recovering. It keeps getting worse. Yeah. So I also want to make sure that I don't get to that point.
Yeah.
I never get to that point. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then some. But yeah.
And then some.
Yeah, I think you know what I'm talking
about, yeah. All right, so I think a good place to go now. You kind of compared it to an everyday person's experience, your average person. Yeah. So I think it's probably a good time to talk about bitterness.
Yeah, okay.
That road.
Yeah. So
you described it to me a little bit before we started.
Yeah.
I'll preface it a little bit with, like, when you feel like your experience is worse than someone else's and when they complain about something, you feel really resentful towards them.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to me, and that's correct. The word resentful is a very correct word to use. So this new life of illness and disability, kind of going back into when everyone started being allowed out again, because remember, I got the diagnosis when everyone was in lockdown or whatever. So once you start getting out and about and things like that, and I have people coming over and visiting and stuff like that, getting involved in those everyday conversations was a bit of a head doer. Yeah. And things like I just felt something that I'd never felt before in my life, which was bitterness. I also felt anger, which that's not anything new to me. Resentfulness, anger, and bitterness. And I just remember being really, really angry when I'd hear anyone just be like, I'm so tired. I don't want to walk up the stairs. Like just these little things, and I would just like see red. What the... Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like, what the fuck, man? Yeah. Like, what? You've got no idea. Like, this was going on in my head. You've got fucking no idea. Like, you can walk. You can stand. You can do the... And I had this list. And then I just noticed, I was like, man, I'm really angry. Like, this is really, really angry. And I didn't like it because I didn't like how honestly these thoughts were coming from a conversation with really great people, like, and really lovely people. So it really screwed with me. I was like, what's going on? And that's when I felt bitterness. Why am I feeling so angry? Like, they're not doing anything wrong. Like, I know they're not doing... Anyway, so for a long time, that was when I was like, oh my God, I understand bitter people now. I really understand them. And they have a right to feel that way. It's fine. But I had made a decision, and there's no judgment to anyone that is bitter, but I had made a decision. I'm like, this is not good for me. This can't be good for me. I don't want to go down that path because it's not going to help me. I'm already struggling mentally with all these changes. And so just adding anger, resentfulness, and bitterness on top of that, it's not going to help me. So I had to really, for months and months and months, have conversations with myself and just be like, you're two different people. Their tiredness is not your tiredness. Your tiredness is lethargy and fatigue. And they're not in your situation. Like, if they want to complain about being tired or walking up the stairs, that's their right. Like, I had to really talk myself through that. Because it's true. It's true, because I didn't want to be the person where you had to go quiet around because my life changed overnight. And I can't do certain things now and I'm not the same.
But there's part of it that's like, you know, if you did, that would be okay. And I feel like people would, you know, if that's how you felt and that's what it had to be, like it is such a massive thing that like none of us can really truly understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if you just said, shut up, I want to hear about your shit time.
I suppose,
Sleep.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it. What? That you didn't get your 8 hours.
Yeah.
Literally me.
Yeah, I get it.
You know,
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that.
But like, I also appreciate that you don't want to live with that conversation in your head of, like, that person is just annoying and I don't like it, but you do like
rolling, like,
you know?
like there's the sensation in my body wanted me just to be like, you've got no idea. Like, that's, you know what I mean? You've got no idea. Because it's true.
It's true.
But I just felt like, I just felt like I didn't want to just be that person.
When did you kind of realize that it was at a point where you were like, oh, I'm doing that a lot. Like, I'm having that conversation in my head a lot. I don't want to do that. What, were you having a conversation with someone at the time? Was there one that, like, hit you that you were like, oh, this makes me so angry? Why does this make me so angry? And
I suppose
so, like, do that reflection?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you when it was.
Yeah, okay.
Or anything like that, but it definitely was, tired was the word. Like, I'm just so tired. Like, I just remember that. But I'm also, the thing is, what I took away from that as well in talking to myself was like, I know that you said like it would have been okay, but I am grateful that people felt comfortable around me to have those kinds of conversations around me rather than make me feel like I'm an alien.
Yeah, so like not walk on eggshells around you.
Yeah. Because I think that would have affected me. It would have been worse for me. It would have been worse for me because I already know the pickle that I'm in. I already know, like, what's happening and I'm trying to process it and I'm trying to live with it. But then if you're on top of that treating me, like, with pity, I think that would have been worse. So
I think that's a really interesting one to go on, but finish your thought.
No, I basically, that's the thing. I didn't want to, there was kind of like a gratefulness, like, you're not treating me like an alien. You're still treating me like nuds. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
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 Okay. That got me a little bit.
Oh.
Of course you're still here.
No, thank you. Well, no, because like to our like points about identity, like I felt like I lost it.
Yeah.
You know, I lost it, and so that's why like just now, like I'm still here. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saying that. That's yeah. I do want to talk about pity because I think that's something that, especially people that know people with chronic illness and disability, probably like struggle with the interactions a lot. And I want to know, from being on your side, what do you think the best way to manage that is? Because I think it's like, it's natural to feel bad for someone that's going through something that, you know, you're like, oh, that's a we've labeled it as a bad situation, and that's hence why you feel pity for them.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so then, what do you think is like a better way to kind of a lens to see it through, or a way to like interact when you feel that way as a person on the outside? What would you appreciate as a person on the other side of that?
What I would appreciate, like, I know from experience already, what I have really appreciated is people. I could tell, you didn't have to tell me, I could tell the people that had done their research. So they would have never heard, like, it's not like, I don't know if I'd ever heard of MS before. I'm not sure. Probably. No, I did. What am I talking about? But, like, like, I didn't know much of, I had heard of it. So I just remembered. I knew of someone that had it, yeah. But I didn't understand it, obviously, like I do now. But I could tell who had done, like, I could just tell, like, who had done their research and who maybe jumped on Google for, just to find out a bit more. Yeah. And the right questions that they were asking, and that was amazing, because I'm trying to learn what to do. I'm trying to learn this condition. I'm still trying to cope with it. So obviously there's people that want to understand, and so they might want me to explain it, but there's people that don't have the capacity because they're just trying to deal with their own situation. Yeah. So the people that I could tell who had done their research and then asked me questions so they could understand how they can support me, that was amazing. And that's what I would suggest, is not to rely on the person that has the condition to educate you on the condition. It's not, that's not their role. I felt like I was being a bit bitchy then, but it's just more so like, they have got so much going on in themselves that they don't have all the answers. Yeah. And I think you're on the mark there. Like, it is not your role and it's not your responsibility to do that. And I think, like, people can ask questions, of course, and, like, people are going to do that. Yes. But, yeah, it's you're doing the job of having the condition. Yeah. You're going to be also doing the job of explaining the condition. Yeah. And, yeah, so that is...
The key is, how can I support you better?
Yep. And how can I support you better? Yeah. How can I support you better? Yeah. And like, just doing that, like, bit of research or finding out from other people if you need to. Yeah. Just not relying on the person that has it to educate you. Yeah.
Yeah. What about when people are they're scared to ask you? How do you approach that? And do you feel uncomfortable being, like, asked outright about it sometimes?
See, it's, okay, see, it depends on what year we're talking. So if you...
So at the point that you were at, it depends.
Okay.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so tell me.
So in the past, let's say a couple of years ago, I probably would have been not offended, but just more so, like, not really willing to be so open about it. So are we talking, like, strangers, or maybe
even
or just family?
Right?
Yeah,
even,
yeah,
like, family, friends. Yeah.
Look, I think it depends. It depends, because what people won't know, and I think this is a good point to bring up, while someone's asking questions to understand, which is fantastic, because support is absolutely necessary, on the other hand, you might not realise that someone else is asking you a question again, and then another person, and if you're a family gathering or friend, I don't know.
You've had, like, 15 of the same questions.
Yeah. And then it gets tiring. But to actually answer your question, I think beforehand I was just not really wanting too many questions because I'm still trying to figure it out. Not only that, my views about this condition are very different, as you know. Very, very different with the status quo and the mainstream.
Yeah.
And so that's been another challenge in itself. But now I'm so open. Like, ask me anything and I'd be happy to share it with you.
Yeah.
But back then, different story. Yeah.
How could people have approached you at that time?
At that time?
More comfortable.
Oh, actually, I feel like I didn't answer a question that you had brought up, which was if I felt when someone is too scared to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to touch on that. There's a lot that I don't remember, also because of the shock.
Yeah.
There's a lot that I still have blanked out, but it can be a little bit frustrating because what you would like is support and maturity. And with that maturity comes I think there's a realness to it. So it's I don't know. I think it goes back to my point about not being treated differently. Like, obviously support me. I need to be supported. I do things differently, but I don't have to be treated like an alien.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that made any sense.
No, it does make sense. Okay. I think that's one that I can say from the outside is something that I find challenging is what question do I ask, even between you and me? What question do I ask you?
Yeah.
Okay, is it do I ask you how are your legs feeling?
Yeah.
And is that a shit question or is that a good question?
Yeah, that's a fair call.
Or how's your week been? Are you in a flare up? Are you coming out of a flare up?
Yeah.
What's the question that that feels good to talk about with other people and Is there something that
Well, I like this because I'm understanding things from your perspective, which is great. And I think for me, you can ask how are your legs feeling today? How's the fatigue feeling this week or today? Mainly today, because every day will change. Every day's different.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, that would be fine with me. The thing is, because I still I feel like I'm still learning as well, and I also find myself never showing how bad it really is. Never.
Okay.
No one will know except my dad. That's it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not because I've got this pride and I'm trying to act tough. No. It's not that. It's just that I just do. The thing is, if I think about how bad it. No, it's not how bad. It's my perspective.
Yeah.
It's my perspective. I choose to have a better perspective because I know.
What your feeling is.
Yeah. Because I can say, that's the thing. I could say, I'm struggling to walk. This was about a month ago. I had to tell my manager, I'm struggling to walk today. I can't come into it, But that's really bad. That's terrible. That's just, I say it casually in a text. She's probably freaking out. I don't know. But it's not a common thing. It's not in your everyday,
that's not really why people are calling in sick.
Exactly. You get it, right? So, but for me, that's my reality. And so, but the perspective was I could still work in bed. I was still able to do my work in bed. That's the positive.
You can just throw your arms up and be like...
Yeah, so that's what I choose to see. Yeah. I choose to see...
What you can do.
Exactly.
What you can do instead of what you can't do. Yeah.
And I like to use casual terms I'll give, people a heads up, my legs are feeling wobbly today. That's what I'll use. But, I'm not going to get into the science and biology of it. I'm not going to be I've got spasticity and my balance is really off and I've got weak legs. I'm not going to, but that's the thing. I've had those deep conversations with certain people. And so when I say wobbly, they know what I mean. I don't have to go into it. But it would be fine to ask me. Yeah, they would be perfect examples.
And that's the thing as well. Are they good questions?
I think they're great questions because they're more specific.
Do you want to be asked that? Do you want to be asked or do you want it to just be left? Sometimes is it a here and there?
It's a here and there. Okay. But the thing is, I think you're making me really think that it does depend on it will depend on the person that's asking and the amount of knowledge that they have.
Okay.
So there's certain people where they'll ask me how I am and I know when they say, how are you? And I'll be like, oh, MS hangover today. I'm in bed all day. It's a bed day. They know exactly what that means. But there'll be other people that they won't know the extent. So the how are you response will be, I will have a different response to that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm having a chill day in bed. That's what I would literally say. I'm just chilling in bed today. I'm having a lazy day. No, that's not really the case.
Not, no.
I'm just incapable of, I need to have a bed day. I'm incapable of going out,
Yeah.
But I do like the specifics of that.
Yeah, okay.
The specifics, like, how are your legs feeling today? How are your arms feeling today? Do you have fatigue? I also have, like, really bad, these weird headaches. And how's your head feeling? And I think the specific ones are good, because if you kind of generalize it too much, then, like, there's 50 responses that I could tell you.
It's almost like, do you have permission to say how you actually feel if it's super general? Because if you're going like it's super... Yeah, it's just a chill day in bed. It's like, I don't really feel like you're asking me deeply, how am I? You're just asking me.
You're just asking me, just like everyone says, how are you? But to be honest, like, you just made me realize as well that you can ask me, and you just made me realize, you can ask me whatever you want, and I control the narrative of what I want to answer to you.
Yeah.
So there are days where I'm pissed off because I've missed out on whatever I missed out on the girls' day. About 3 weeks ago. I was really shitted about that. I was really looking forward to it, and I couldn't make it, and I was very upset. And it helped me not to go into it. It helped me just to say, I think I gave my usual response, like I can't make it, and you guys would have all known why.
Yeah.
But, like, I didn't have people checking up on me, like, how are you feeling now? Maybe the next day, one of the girls will, which is fine, but when I have those days and I have to last minute cancel, I respect my body and I stay in bed. I watch Netflix all day because that's what my body wants, just to do nothing. But I stay away from my phone because I don't want to go into it. I don't want to, because I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into what I'm experiencing because I'm experiencing
it. Write the narrative about the thing you're living.
Yeah.
That would be definitely.
That makes sense, right? Yeah. So I think it really is dependent. What's really dependent, is my response. So that's why I say you can ask anything.
Yeah.
And I will control the narrative, like, not in a bad way. It's just everyone has their own right to feel what they feel and say what they want to say.
Definitely.
Depending on their mood, or depending on their mental capacity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think there's probably, correct me if I'm wrong, there's probably days where, like, even how are your legs is not a question you want to have. You put down the phone and it's like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm shitted.
Yeah.
I've got the shits.
I've got the shit.
I
love
That's
that.
so old school to say.
Can we swear on here ever since? I got the shit.
Oh, yeah. And I'm holding back. I think I'm holding back.
So, now it's been 5 years, you said?
Yep.
Since diagnosis?
Yep.
Since the first episode?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that this is, and how did you get to that realization?
Yep. So, I feel like I just want to explain a little bit deeper what MS is, right?
Do it. Yeah.
So it is lesions in the brain and the spine. In my case, it's only the brain, right? So I'll give you the Western medicine example, and then another part of it, what I believe it really is.
Yeah.
As we said. So lesions in the brain, and it attacks what's called the myelin sheath, which is this thing around the nerves. The damage is in the brain, and it affects the central nervous system. Mm-hmm. If you can picture the central nervous system like on a Google image, you'll see that it's everywhere, right? The nerves are everywhere. So that's why some people have, like, issues with their eyes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't, but others do. Legs only, arms only, all of it. Just depends where. But the damage is in the brain. Like, it starts from the brain. It's not like my nerves here. They are damaged, but it's the signal
Yeah.
The signal from here doesn't work properly.
Yes, because the myelin, because the myelin is the fatty part around the nerve, and what that does is actually conducts the electricity.
Exactly.
Which sends the message to say, move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's interfered with.
Or sensation.
Yeah.
Or contraction.
Yeah. So that's that. And when I first found out about the lesions and then the diagnosis as well, it didn't make sense to me from the start. Like, I was just like, this is, what do you, like, there's no cure? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I'm so active and fit and I'm young. And I very, very quickly kind of dove into the realm of alternative, holistic, etc., but more so dove into the people that did the impossible. Yeah, right?
Like radical remissions.
Exactly. That's exactly the docuseries that I started watching, and it amazed me because I learned. It's
incredible.
It's yeah. And I learned so much from that, and I had no idea about it. Even the Heal documentary, when I watched that for the first time, that opened up something. That opened up a door. I was like, what? I didn't know this was an option because I've been, I guess, in the Western medicine tunnel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it opened up another door.
And to get diagnosed, you kind of have to be there, you know, in the Western medicine.
Yeah.
You have to somehow have been through that system in order to get diagnosed. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't really know.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah. The MRI.
So it is like there are many uses for Western medicine.
Yes.
There are many uses.
No, definitely.
Definitely. But I think that they're not really good at finding root cause for a lot of things. Not for all, but for a lot of things.
They don't do root cause, I think, full stop. And chronic conditions are like, they don't get it. Like, they don't get it. They're great. Like, you know, hospitals are great. Like, medicine is great for the right people, you know, like, not nothing, that's a lie. Not entirely against them, 100%.
Just 98. Not 100%.
Yeah. No. I mean, they've helped me a lot, but I find more answers down the other avenues, the more traditional, ancient, holistic, natural avenues. I find more answers, and they go down to the root cause, 100%. So I followed a lot of people that have dramatically, you know, changed their life to reverse their conditions. It's like, this is a possibility, this is a truth. And so I've started following them, and just knowing that, like, I can reverse this. Like, I've known it for a long time. And there's no doubt in my mind that it's reversible. There's proof out there. But it was just trying to find the right thing. And I went down this path of really healing, going through therapy and healing myself. And it just opened up a lot of things that made me just keep on exploring and exploring. Learning so much about the body and the immune system. And I'm cutting, like, a long story short in 5 years worth. But basically what I've come to now is the understanding that the immune system is absolutely perfect. And the body is absolutely, every single system is perfect, right? I'm mentioning the immune system because that's where the problem lies. The immune system attacks itself, right? The immune system in my brain attacks itself. And I've learnt at this point is like, oh no, it's perfect. It's trying to tell me something.
Yeah.
And more recently, I've done so many different modalities, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be here forever if I spoke about them. I've done heaps. In a nutshell, you know, energy, healing, the surface level stuff, therapy as well. Heaps. But I've been thinking about the gut for years, but never got around to doing something about it proactively. And more recently, I've gone down the path of finding out, you know, issues with my gut.
Yeah.
So basically, I approached this virtual GP in Western Australia and said, you know, these are all my issues, and it's incredible because they actually listen to you, like,
yeah,
because I've had a lot of experience where they don't.
Yeah. And you would have been to millions of appointments
oh
by
gosh,
now. Millions of appointments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, millions. And so, anyway, they listen to you, and then we actually do tests. And I love science. Like, I didn't go to uni or anything like that, but I just love science and just getting the results.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Getting the
yes.
results, getting something tangible and working with it.
Yeah.
So we did all these tests, and then I found out I had these 3 problems with my gut. And so that's concluded me to the understanding that one of the problems that I have is a leaky gut, which I know I've got on paper. And if I think about it in like a simplistic way, I've got holes in the lining of my gut.
Yeah.
That's not good. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I've got food coming out and going into my bloodstream and
Yeah.
all these bad things that are seeping through these holes and going into my bloodstream. So I see it as in my immune system is already activated because I've got holes in my gut, along with those 2 other problems. So I've got those three gut problems, right?
Well, 2 now.
2 now, yes, thank you.
Yes.
Goodbye, SIBO.
Goodbye, SIBO.
2, but before these discoveries, my immune system is trying to fix the holes, trying to fix the SIBO, and trying to give me something that I don't have, which is the good bacteria. Mm-hmm. So it's already working, and then it's already with everyday life trying to deal with my migraines. It's also trying to deal with my mental health problems. It's trying to deal with my colds and my throat infections and everything else, right? If I can picture it, because 80% of the immune system lives in the gut, right? Yeah. So there's so much bad things already happening, and it's trying to fix the problem. But it's kind of, it's like being in a, how can I explain it? It's like an immunity bubble burst, and it's like, I can't handle this anymore. There's too many problems, and it bursts. And for me, in my case, it's gone up to my brain.
Yeah.
And so the lesions it's brain tissue that has been scarred from inflammation, right? So for me, the way that I see it, it's like, it's traveled to the inflammation, the systemic inflammation caused by an overactive immune system. The systemic inflammation has gone into my brain and has like these little pocket explosions. This is how I kind of imagine it. It's had these little pocket explosions, and it's scarred my brain tissue. Yeah. And in that process, then it affects the central nervous system, which is my nerves. Then that's the initial, and then that's what causes the symptoms. The pain, the spasticity, the balance, the headaches, the fatigue. And the fatigue to me makes sense because every time when I go to sleep, I guess my body's trying to fix all these problems.
Yeah, it's trying to recover.
And having lesions in the brain is pretty bad, right? It's pretty bad. So it's trying to work extra hard. And so I'm tired all the time. I'm tired all the time because my body's trying to heal, because my immune system is perfect. It's trying to heal. So I'm trying to give it what it needs. Yeah. Phase 2, close the gut up. Let's put the beneficial bacteria in my gut. So I see it as in, if I'm healing my gut, which is where 80% of the immune system sits, then things should start to settle. Yes. Systemic inflammation will settle.
And the gut brain, like the blood-brain barrier, is so closely related to what happens in the gut, like things that can pass through into the brain.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
yeah. Is that the
blood brain?
Gut? Oh, the gut brain axis?
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, but the blood brain barrier, basically, if you have leaky gut, you putting yourself at higher risk of inflammation of the brain. So you've done it.
There you go. I've done it, yeah. I'm the walking example.
I didn't mean that. I mean you figured it out.
No. Me, of course, I've got it.
You've done it.
Yeah, I've done it. I went there. I made it dark. Dark humour. Yeah.
Yes.
But, yes, I figured it out. But that makes complete sense. Yeah, and that makes more sense to me.
Yeah, and...
That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Yeah.
And that can be, like, set off, say... Well, I think we've talked about this before, like, via, like, bad viruses. People already know that there's things like Epstein-Barr.
Yeah.
Things that people get that then set off this massive immune response.
Yes.
And then you have leaky gut.
Yeah.
It is known. It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not like it's like, oh, we didn't know about this.
No.
I do know, I just think the dots haven't been connected in Western medicine yet.
Yeah.
Or they have, and it just doesn't make money to get people
It doesn't make money, 100%. It does not.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, I mean, you get so much money, a specialist, you know, get so much money when their patients take particular drugs. And the thing is, like, I'm obviously paying money with this GP to help me, but once I fix a problem, I don't need to go back. Yeah. It's a one-off thing. Yeah. It's a one-off thing. It's a one-off expense. But in saying that, like, the Western medicine is helping me right now.
Yes.
I get my infusions every 6 months, and that's been helping me. Like, I'm so grateful for that.
What are you getting infused?
Infusion, it's called Ocrevus. So that every 6 months I get that, and I'm very, very grateful for it because it has helped me. It is helping me, and it has helped me. But at the same time, for me, I see that as surface level. Okay, it's helping me slow down the lesions in my brain. It is. And it's helping me with my symptoms, but at the same time, like, I want to get to the core because I don't want to deal with this level anymore. Yeah. Let's get to the core.
You don't want to symptom manage.
Yeah, I want to reverse and fix, you know, and let my immune system do what it needs to do and give it a much calmer environment. So at the same time as doing Western medicine, I'm also getting to the root cause and fixing things from a holistic level. And I'm happy. That works for me.
Yeah.
That works for me.
I think that's an important point too, because there's things that in Western medicine I've tried, and then I went down the natural route.
Yep.
So we'll talk about it in regards to my skin, but I have a few different things. Let's just talk about acne for now.
Yeah.
So say, like, you know, I've tried the antibiotics and it's cool, like, great, clear skin for 2 weeks, that's awesome. And then, and then it comes back.
Yeah.
And then you get like, okay, we'll give you a medication so that you don't have, or we'll put you on the pill. Go on the pill. Go on the contraceptive pill, and then you won't have acne.
Oh my gosh.
Or, you know, and then you go through all these things. And at some point, I think it happens to a lot of people where you question and you go, yeah, but why? Why?
Yeah.
How can I be doing all the things?
Yeah.
And still have this thing that's not a sign of health?
Yeah. Yep.
And so I think asking that question is really important, firstly. But then also looking down at other avenues is so important, and seeing what else is out there and if there is someone that can get to root cause. And I think in your experience as well, you sometimes have to sift through the shit to find someone that's, one, willing to, like, understand and look at it, and two, has the actual capacity to do the tests and do the things to find something.
Just to be on your level.
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing. Yeah. Just to be on your level.
Yes.
Like, we were talking about skin stuff earlier, and I developed eczema from the first medication that I took.
Yes, I remember that, around your eyes, right?
Yeah, on my face. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And I just sorry, I'm like, let me try and explain. Yes. I couldn't even speak. The whole, you know, like, this is the first, so I was taking tablets every day, the first medication I had ever taken once I got diagnosed.
Yeah.
First one. You know, if you have any problems, let me know, like, you know, and, like, anything at all, like, anything, like, any side effect, like, you let me know, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, okay. Then I start getting, like, these rashes, and then I just notice, like, bits of skin coming off here, and I'm like, oh, I've got this thing around my eye, like, this rash around my eye. Oh yeah, like how long does it stay on for? Like, does it go? I'm like, it doesn't go away. It's itchy, and it's starting to cut at the eyelid. Oh no, that's something else. Like, that's not.
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah. But I'm like, but it started when I started taking the medication. No, usually it's like a rash. You can get rashes that come up on your arms. Anyway, so it started traveling, going around my eyes, really, really bad. I didn't know what it was at the time.
Yeah.
And I bring it up again, like, this is happening.
Yeah.
What is it? Help me with it. No, it's not. It's something else. But it started when I started taking the medication anyway. So they were hopeless. Anyway, then I ended up going to the dermatologist.
Yeah.
And, you know, in the questionnaire, I just wrote, I was like, this is when it started, blah, blah. And then she confirmed with me, yeah, I've had many patients. There was something that I had, it was a triangle. It's something that everyone has. If you get, because I've had asthma when I was a kid, so you're more likely to get asthma and then hay fever and then eczema.
Yeah.
It's a triangle thing. I just remember her explaining to me.
Yeah.
But that medication unlocks it. So she was like, yeah, most of our patients
Awesome.
have been like, a lot of patients, she knew the medication. She was like, yeah, there's a lot of patients that get eczema from that medication. And I was like...
Yeah. And they were just...
And they were like, just tell me, like, if anything's wrong, like, call us. Oh, I was really angry. Yeah, something's wrong. I'm telling you that this is happening. I've never had this before at the same time that I took my medication. Anyway, I feel like that was a tangent. But
that would have been super validating to go to the dermatologist. And
it was so validating.
Yes,
Yeah. So then I found out that it was eczema. And I had tried before that. I was really, like, for months I was trying to do everything natural. I did not want to go to a dermatologist. But when it came to it, it worked and I needed it.
Yeah.
And I know what the root cause is.
Yeah.
So it really, really helped. I got the cream and it cleared up. And, you know, I've still got like a bit of a patch of a darker skin here, whatever. It really travelled. I let it go for not let it go, but it just took me a while to get to that stage. So it really did spread. It was very painful, very bad. But the Western medication, it helped me. I needed it.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. Like, I needed it, you know. Sometimes we need it, and I know what the root cause is. I notice sometimes when it gets a little bit crusty, it's when I don't sleep much. That's when I've noticed. But other than that, it's never come back again.
Yeah.
So,
and again, it's the immune system being like, I have too much to deal with.
Exactly. Yeah. And you've got to, I just think you've got to find support. With most medication, if you want a fix, like, now, it's great for that.
Oh, yeah.
It's great for that.
Fantastic.
And I've used it. Yeah. I've needed it and I've used it. Like, it's great. And it was really like, I was at the stage where I really didn't want to. And I found out that I had a fear of medication because I went through something crazy when I found out that I had to start to do it. But anyway, obviously I overcame that. But what I'm trying to say is the point is very, 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 very reluctant. But I'm now at a point where I just accept it. Like, you know what? We live in a great country. We have so much opportunity, and I just know compared to my homeland, like, the difference. Yeah. So you know what? It's like, I'm going to use what works for me. It doesn't have to be forever. That's what I say. It doesn't have to be forever. Yeah. You'll get to a stage where you'll be more aligned with your values, which is being more natural. But if it's not working for you right now, then it's okay. That's it.
Yeah.
And as long as I'm working at the root at the same time, I'm good.
It's okay.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's definitely so important, and something that I wanted to talk about today was, I think there's both sides, okay? There's people that are super, like, can be super Western medicine or medication focused. Yeah. And that's okay. And then there's people that can be super natural on that side, and that's okay. But I think the contention between the two can get so much. And I've been on like both sides of it, I reckon, at some point in my life. I've been like, ew, this stupid natural way. Yes. What? You're a vegan? And then I tried veganism for a while. Like, you know, it's like, you're like, okay. Yeah. Like, eat your words. Often. Like, yeah.
I mean, that's another thing, like, when you just, I keep coming back to identity, but I didn't know it, but I know it now. I used to be very closed-minded. Yeah. Very, very closed-minded. And I would have those same, like, reactions type thing. But now I'm so open-minded and I'm open to anything and everything. And it's just a different way to be. And it is awesome. Yes. It is awesome to have that open growth mindset. But I totally get what you're saying. Like, totally get.
You could, you could be going down the natural path and then, you know, someone's going, oh, I'm taking a Nurofen because I have a headache today. And, like, at a point in time, I would have been like, oh, my God, you're taking a Nurofen.
Yeah.
Are you trying to inflame your gut?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
And I'll be like that. And now I'm just like, honestly, it took me a while to come out of that.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Now it's, like, it is exactly what you said. It's like, it's what's working for people, and that's okay. We do need to continue to be informed about what is good and what is not good for our bodies, and what's harmful and what's not. And I think the more that comes out, the more comes out. Yeah. And we find out, but just staying curious. Staying curious is so important, because we could be like, oh, Nurofen's so shit for you, like it's doing this, and this. That's why they tell you not to go on it for too long, because like it's ripping your gut. Yeah. But then, 10 years down the track, actually, we thought it was this, but it's actually just this one thing we put in and now I've taken it out and it's completely fine. Yeah. That can happen. Yeah, true. That is true. And it can be totally fine. Yeah. And that's so true. Yeah, and there's things like, Ozempic, everyone went, oh my God, it's like the easy way out. Blah, blah, blah. Like the people on the natural side really, but now they're looking at the research. And, for people with ill metabolic health, so that means like chronic disease, things like high cholesterol, diabetes. Yes. The lifestyle diseases. Yes. It's significantly improving their health outcomes. I thought it was originally that. I thought it was originally a diabetic medication, and then people are now taking it for weight loss. But regardless, doesn't matter, because I get to your point. Yeah, and that might change. It works. Yeah. No, yeah. And that's, it helps. It helps people with diabetes. Yeah. And you can have some, I think, shame and guilt around whichever way you decide to go, depending on what your circle around you is saying. Yes, that's true. That's a really big thing, because, like I said, I really moved towards the natural route. Yep. And then my skin got to such a point where, I had dermatitis rashes here all the time, and around my nose, then on my eyelids as well sometimes. Then I got fungal acne. Who knows what fungal acne is? It's basically dandruff, but it comes down here and the hair follicles inflame, and it's, and there was so many things. Yeah. And I just went, God, I can't catch a break. Yes. And I feel like when I got to that point, I felt like, but I talk so much shit about the Western medicine thing, and now they're telling me they have the thing that's going to fix it. Yeah. And I need a break from this. Yep. And so I tried Accutane, Roaccutane, or Roaccutane, there's so many names for it, but basically high-dose vitamin A. Yep. And, oh my God, amazing. Yeah. Clearest skin of my life. Awesome. Yeah. So great. Yeah. But then there was other side effects, like you said. Yep. And so it just really depends on your journey and where you're at. Just depends. And if it's helpful to you at the time, it's helpful. And if it's harmful to you at the time, you'll figure it out. Yeah. Yep. Keep being curious. Yes, I love that. And that's the thing. I'm very, very curious, and I will follow my curiosity, always. But the thing about knowledge as well is, I really didn't know about, and that's the thing about having a fixed mindset, and I suppose that there's different reasons for it, many reasons for it, but when I had watched the Heal documentary, that opened up, like I said, it opened up my mind a lot. Yeah. And I remember thinking, one thing that I thought of was, we've been lied to. I was like, what? There are alternatives? I had no idea. Mm-hmm. It's just they've always been there, but it's just not in the mainstream. No. But I had never come across it, and I didn't know. That really changed a lot for me. And I was like, there are other things, and those alternative therapies made more sense to me. They just make more sense to me. In general. Again, as we've said, not rejecting Western medicine. Yeah, or judging. No, definitely not. No way. But it just makes more sense. And then the more knowledge that I had, the more I was leaning towards, okay, I want to do what they did back in the day, traditional ancients. That makes more sense to me. But at the same time, I do have the opportunity, and I'm so grateful that, I can go and get something that's going to help relieve something right now. Yes. You know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. And as well, there's so many things that aren't considered in the natural route. It's yes, you could do all the things in the natural way, but then our lifestyle is not built the same. It's 100%. So different. 100%. It's so different. And okay, if we could go out and camp every day. Yeah. And, sun up, sun down, see the light in your eyes, go hunt for your food, so you're doing more than 20,000 steps a day. Like, you know,
Yes.
lift things, load your body, all, okay.
Yeah.
If we could do all of that, yeah.
For
a
sure.
combination of things would probably work.
Yes.
But sometimes you get to a point, again, Western medicine doesn't work and that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
as
thinking about that
the
yesterday,
finished stuff.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can. And
Yeah.
both ways.
And it does depend on the individual. It depends on the individual.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
I really need to pee.
Me too!
Okay, let's
I was
go
just going
pee.
to say it. You go first.
Yes, do you need to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay.
That's so funny. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we need 3 more podcasts
Yeah,
after
we
this.
need-
Because you're opening up things.